glad to have you back. Ogun State has been in the news for various reasons in the past few weeks. First, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun was accused of withholding more than 17 billion naira statutory federal allocation due to the state's local governments in the last 2 years. Chairman of Ijebu East local government area of Ogun State, Wale Adedayo, made this known in a letter addressed to former governor Olusegun Oshoba. He noted that it had been zero federal allocation to each local government since they got on board in 2021. Governor Abiodun and other council chairmen have since denied the allegation. Secondly, the Ogun State government demolished a plaza owned by the wife of former Governor Gbenga Daniel over alleged contravention of Ogun physical planning laws. These two issues and other sundry issues from Ogun State are what we are seeking clarity on today. And to address them, we have been joined by a public affairs analyst from Ogun State, Barrister Femi Oniyide. Good morning, Barrister. Thank you very much for joining us on the bottom line on New Cruise 92.7 FM, Ekiti State.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning to all listeners.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So let's start with a letter released by the chairman of Ijebu East local government area, Wale Adedayo, accusing the governor of withholding allocations meant for councils. Do you find any truth in the letter at all? Or what do you know about this issue as a resident of Ogun State?
The truth I know is that a letter has been released by Mr. Wale Adedayo, a.k.a. Babalawo. He has released the letter. How truthful the contents of the letter are, I may not be able to speak to it. But he, as a chairman, as a man involved in the whole matter, the man who sits atop a local government in Ogun State, a man who sits atop a local government that is in a rural area, spoke to the fact that even if people go to the stream to get drinkable water, he must have seen something. So he knows the truth he has seen. We are outsiders. And that's why he shouted, look, give us our allocations so we can do something tangible. So it is him who knows where the shoe pinches. He knows the accounts to which monies are being paid into. And he saw that monies are not being paid. So it is within his duty as a leader, as an indigenous of Ogun State, as a citizen of Nigeria, to shout out or plead. Because what I saw is that it was like pleading. That Mr. Governor, please release these funds so that we can breathe. The local government can breathe. The local government can develop. The local government can give the dividends of democracy to the people of Ogun State. That is my belief. Thank you.
Barrister Oniyide, are you in any way saying that there might be some truth in what Mr. Wale Adedayo has actually said? Of course, we know that the governor and other council chairmen denied this. Even some other chairmen, the chairman actually went out to apologize to the governor on behalf of their colleague. But owing to what you just said right now, and of course you are a resident of that state, you know what is obtainable, you know what is happening. Is it about politics, or is somebody trying to cover something?
I wouldn't. In anything, there is politics. In anything. Even within your household, when you give money to your wife and give some things to your children, so politics has to be involved for you to manage the resources of the house. So if that is the sort of politics they're talking about, yes. Because you said there might be truth. That is what you said. There might be truth in this. Other local government chairmen could go to prostrate to the governor. That is politics too. Because no law says a local government chairman, in view of the fact that if he may have offended the governor, the next line of action for such local government chairman is to prostrate for the governor. And some people might even come to say, the governor is an elder, is a older in age than the chairman. They could prostrate for him and said, we are sorry. But we are sorry for what? Because the man who quote unquote has offended the governor has not really come out to prostrate for the governor. He has continued to say that, look, what he has written is right. And for God's sake, why don't we leave all this and look at what the man has written? Because it's an allegation. He has not said this is the truth. He said, please come and look into the accounts. AFCC, ICPC, come and look into the accounts of our state and see whether my local government has been paid the sort of amount that the government is claiming to have paid me. And he said in one radio program that I listened to, that, look, this thing has never been, we have not been paid. I have not been paid an amount. If we've been paid, please let the books be opened and let those who have the authority, let them, go through our books and see whether we've done the right thing with even the money. And I will even say, even the local government chairman should be taken up by the EFCC and ICPC, and let's see whether it is true that they've been giving money and they've not used the money in the right way that they should have used it. The state governor himself could write to EFCC and ask EFCC and ICPC to look into the books. That is what I would have done if I were in the shoes of Mr. Governor. That look, okay, Mr. Adedayo has written a petition against us. Please come and look at this thing and let's see the truth about it. Let the people of Ogun State and Nigerians in general know that the government of Ogun State has done the right thing, and that is what I expect. Thank you so much.
Yes, Barrister, we also heard that the man in question, Mr. Adedayo, was arrested or maybe invited by the Department of State Services in Ogun. What can you tell us about this, or what do you make of this? Is this true?
What I learned was that he was invited.
Okay.
And within the means of invitation, I think he stayed for about 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days? Yes.
Just for him to clear his statement?
Yeah. That is for the security agencies to explain. I'm not within the purview to explain on that.
Okay, well, the chairman of Ijebu East local government area was suspended on August 31 for 3 months over allegations of maladministration and financial mismanagement. Adedayo was suspended by 7 councillors of the council's legislative council and was to appear in the next sitting on September 14. Do you consider this as the governor fighting back?
Do I do what?
Do you consider this as the governor fighting back?
I don't know what to say. Yorubas will say, "Ajekela na omo kuloni." The witch cried yesterday, and the daughter, the child died this morning. The witch cried overnight, and the child died this morning.
That is an interesting proverb, Barrister Oniyide, I must say. That is an interesting one. And as a Yoruba boy myself too, I think I quite understand that proverb very well.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we should just move ahead and look at some of that. So amidst all of this, there were reports over the weekend that the chairman of Ijebu, the local government area, Babatunde Milola Gazal, abandoned his office after some residents gave him an ultimatum to account for the allocations accrued to the council under his watch in the last 2 years. I don't know if you've heard about this too.
That's news to me. Why should he abandon his office?
So that's why I'm asking. So how true is this report, and do you consider this as a sign of things to come?
I've not really heard about that news. And why should he abandon his office? He should just explain to the people if they ask him. Even without asking, should we not give accountability? Look, each local government every year should make their accounts public to the people of the local government. That is the way it should be. When last have they given account? A local government chairman, when last have they given account? They don't again. And I doubt whether they've given at all, at any time. Are we having bosses over us? Huh? What's really wrong? What's really wrong with that level of accountability? Local government, without asking, should give account every year to the people of the local government, call the representatives of the wards, and give an account before them. That is what we call accountability. That is, brother, look, this is what we've gotten, and this is what we have been able to do for you. Being the chairman of the local government is about serving. You are there to serve. So why did you tell us how much you've been giving and how much you've been able to do for us? It's as simple as ABC. It's governance rocket science, for God's sake. It's not going to the moon. Governance is not about going to the moon. We've thrown away accountability everywhere, and everybody is just doing anything it wants to do. They get into government and they believe that they are the masters instead of being the servants. And I am being surprised. Let the local government chairman give account. He shouldn't run. Why should he? Nobody. And I plead with the local government. They should allow him to give account. Nobody should run over his office or try to do anything bad against him. No. They should allow peace to reign. They should call on him to answer to the call of the public and give account. And they should give a peaceful atmosphere for this to be done. That's my plea to the people, and that's my plea to the local government chairman.
All right, so let's come to a more recent development in Ogun State. In the early hours of yesterday, okay, that was not yesterday, that was on Sunday. Yes, in the early hours of Sunday, the state government began to demolish the plaza of former First Lady, Chief Mrs. Olufunke Daniel, the former governor, former Ogun State Governor Gbenga Daniel's wife. Gbenga Daniel has since described this action as an act of executive recklessness, lawlessness, and irresponsibility. It was reported that a court injunction on September 7 had halted the planned demolition. Well, I don't know. You are the one who is on ground over there in Ogun State. A lot of people, pundits and observers, have been reacting to this particular issue. Can this be actually be traced to bad blood between the former governor, I'm talking about Gbenga Daniel, and the current governor, Dapo Abiodun? And is there any justification for this at all?
I would speak to justification.
Okay.
I would not speak to whether there is a bad blood or no bad blood. I would speak to the issue of justification because I'm a lawyer.
All right.
An injunction by a competent court has to be obeyed, whether by an individual or by a government. Because it is for the reason of government that the law itself is made. It is because the reason of government that there is a court. It is because so that the government can survive, so that there will not be anarchy, so that everybody will not take the law into their hands. That is why there is a court. Hey, for God's sake, if we continue to disobey the courts, we are bringing anarchy upon ourselves. I continue to warn against this. Anybody in a position of authority thinks he is in government for 8 years or thereabout or 4 years and thinks he can, with abandon relish, just throw away the process of court, throw away the judgment of court. I am surprised when he is out of office and anarchy descends upon him and upon his own properties too. Who will he run to? Is it not the same court that they will all run to? It will push away the last bastion of democracy, the last bastion of the rule of law, which is the court. It will crush it. What else have we again to look for? We will find ourselves be confronted by violence, be confronted by anarchy, and the Obesian state will stay upon us, and nobody will be able to take care of peace for ourselves. It is because of this that we have the courts that takes care that, look, in a dispute between the state or a dispute between individuals within the society, the court must be able to intervene and say, look, listen, let us see to this. It is not that within 3 days or within 7 days or within 1 month, that plaza is going to crumble. No, there is nothing that tells us that, except there is something that comes up that, oh, if this plaza is not brought down within 7 days or 1 month, this place is going to collapse. Then the government could move in because of that. And they too should seek the leave of court. That, look, this is a danger. She's staring at us. It has to be caught. Then they could move in and do that. But on September 7th, there is a court process served on you. And apart from that, on August, I learned on August 2nd or so, that management went and paid the fee of about 500,000 naira for the unsealing, quote unquote, unsealing and regularization of the plan of that plaza.
The plaza.
So, yes, and the government took 500,000 naira. You can see, took 500,000 naira revenue and still went ahead within a week or so and start demolishing the property. Does that speak to us of the rule of law? Let's ask ourselves questions. Let our conscience be pricked as the people. What are we doing? Because we are in government. And so what?
Okay, Barrister Oniyide, well, I'm impressed that as a lawyer, you don't definitely want to get involved in politics, and you've tactically refrained from bringing political motives into all of these issues. But let's look at what Governor Dapo Abiodun actually said yesterday. Governor Dapo Abiodun, he has also denied any political motive behind the demolition of the Datkem Plaza. Abiodun actually said that yesterday during the inspection of the reconstruction of the 8-kilometer Mowe of Faber Road in the Femi Oniyide local government area of Ogun State. Well, the governor, while he was actually speaking, reacting to that, he said the owners of Datkem, talking about the plaza, he said in their minds must have felt they were above the law because they were actually recalcitrant. It smacks of impunity if the Ministry of Physical Planning sends you a contravention order, sends you a seal order, and you continue with the construction in violation of the safety of all of us in Ogun State. That was what the governor said there. What do you make of the governor's reaction, Barrister Oniyide?
Well, I don't buy that reaction. I don't buy it. Because
he said the ministry sent them contravention order, sent the owners a seal
order. When on August 2nd, you got a fee of 500,000 naira for them for sealing and regularization of the same person who said is recalcitrant. He paid for sealing and regularization. Maybe we don't understand English again. What was it was sealed on August 1st, and he now paid for sealing and regularization on August 2nd. What are we talking about? You see, the same thing happened to a client of mine, and that is we are in court. I think my client is in court now over that. An issue of acquisition of government acquisition land. They said they should pay. The man paid a huge sum of money, and the land was still taken away from him. The money is still hooked up within the coffers of government. Who will pay back this 500,000 naira to that case? Who? What have they done? The same that came is saying, look, we have an approval for 6 floors as far back as 2009. They quoted the approval number. I will not be standing in for that management. They quoted the approval. I have it with me. I will not quote it because I'm not the solicitor.
Okay.
But the issue is that they said they have an approval. They quoted it for the public to know about it. So what are we talking? The person got an approval. So you guys have gotten an approval, even if he has been recalcitrant, and at the time he came to you, he said, I want to pay for sealing and regularization. You pay 500,000 naira from me, for God's sake. And still again, he went and gave a notice of 3 days. Who gives a 3 days quick notice? Quick notice, it was quick notice. It was not demolition notice.
But the governor said he sent a demolition order. It's according to the interview that I have here with me. He said he sent a demolition order. And he said that camp did not respond. Instead, they began to sneak into the building at night and walking there at night.
But they paid for sealing and regularization. Who went at night? Who is the Nicodemus? Who is Nicodemus? Who went in at night? They said they went in the management of the Kotoya, my learned son, the learned Sikh, who is the lawyer to them, said they went in at 3 a.m. or thereabouts. So who now Nicodemusly went in to destroy people's property? And for God's sake, what is the essence? What is so urgent about the demolition? What is so urgent? All the things you stated. There's no setback. There's no space for parking. this is a building that has not, this is a plaza that has not yet started. These people said they are trying to buy some space at their back. They said in front of that place, there is an undeveloped plots all over where people can park. But that is not the issue. The issue is that the person said, hello, sir?
Okay, go ahead, sir.
The person said, this building is about 1 billion naira. Who goes in and just starts demolishing something of 1 billion naira without you talking it out with people? The governor was saying that, he doesn't even know who owns the place. How many places in Ijebu East is about 6 floors. That is about 6 floors of about 1 billion naira. How many? It's the chief because of Ogun State. If within a place like Ijebu, such a huge edifice is coming up, it is his duty to know, as the chief security officer, that this is the owner of this place. That's how you know your people. You are our leader. You are leading us for now. You are the number one citizen. You must know our plight. You must know the good things we are doing. You must commend good things. You don't destroy them. That's the issue.
Okay. Well, you definitely do not want to talk about politics, but with everything that you have said, you don't think that there is a political motive.
Look, I want to look at the economic. What is the economic motive? What political motive, for God's sake? What political motive?
You talked about the urgency too. You asked questions that what was so urgent. So 3 days to begin to demolish a building that worth about 1 billion naira that took about 10 years to complete.
And let me make a suggestion that I've been talking about since. You see, let that be a quasi-judicial committee to be formed. A quasi-judicial, you see, involving structural engineers, involving civil engineers, lawyers of about 20 years at the bar, you know, who will sit when this sort of notices to demolish buildings are being served. Let them sit over it. Because the government has turned it to an instrument to oppress their political opponents. This has to stop. The government is the one who serves the notice. The government is the one who will say you have violated it. The government is the one who will sit over it. Is the one who could come and demolish it at any time they think they can. Why?
Well, we need to.
This is not the issue.
We need to go. The way you're sounding this morning, Barrister Oniyide, it doesn't look like you are a big fan of Dapo Abiodun's administration.
No. He's been there for 4 years plus. Have we not been eating? We thank God. We will still continue to eat and thank God and give him glory. That's all we need to do. We cannot be governor at the same time. He's the leader. He's the one there. May God bless his soul. May God teach him to do the things that are right. God lead him aright. He's our leader. If we get this right, it is for our own benefit. It's for our own good.
Okay, so finally, before I let you go, obviously, Binga Daniel and the wife will not just watch this as things unfold. This is definitely a huge loss to them. They may definitely want to seek redress in the court. Do you think there is hope for Daniel to get justice on this? Looking at what the governor said about the contravention and all of these issues brought up by the Ministry of Physical Planning.
It is because we all want hope for justice. That's why the courts are there. Let them approach the courts. I plead with them, let them approach the court so that we can all learn.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you so sincerely on the program this morning. Barrister Femi Oniyide, you joined us from Ogun State. Thank you very much. We appreciate you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, listeners.
All right. Do have a great day.